Hey there, my name is Andy Hollowell. I'm a licensed clinical therapist, and I hope you find this video helpful.
It's impossible to deny the importance of politics in our day-to-day life. It's also impossible to ignore the intense strain that it can put on your mental health. Regardless of what your political views are, the election in November likely brought you distress and affected your ability to focus on your everyday activities due to the uncertainty. It may have also brought some negativity to your relationships with people who have differing views. Even though the election is over, you may still be experiencing mental and emotional distress months later. Regardless of how you feel about the results, it's common for people to experience post-election mental health concerns that affect their productivity, connections with others, and outlook for the future. The good news is, the right coping mechanisms can help you navigate the mental health concerns that you may be experiencing after the presidential election. And I'll go over 5 of those coping mechanisms today. After a presidential election is over, it's possible to feel intense anxiety about what the next 4 years might look like, no matter how you voted. Depending on your opinions about the results, you may also be experiencing feelings of sadness and hopelessness. As you're trying to navigate the complex emotions that come after a presidential election and the emotions of other people in your life, here are 5 coping mechanisms that are worth exploring. First, practicing self-compassion. Acknowledge your emotions about the election, whether they are positive, negative, or a mix of the two, and allow yourself to be aware of your feelings and be kind to yourself without judgment. It's okay to feel however you do. Practicing self-compassion can include saying things like, "It's okay that I'm upset," or "I'm allowed to be confused about my emotions because politics is confusing." Next is adjusting your focus. Anxiety often stems from concern about things that are out of our control, leading to fear and worry about the unknown. Once the election is over, and the results are out of your control. However, try to switch your focus to what you can control. This could mean anything from actively working to control your negative thoughts to taking action about changes that are still possible, maybe even on a local level or in your neighborhood. Next is talking to like-minded people. Politics can feel incredibly isolating if your friends and family don't have similar views. There's a high likelihood that there are people who are feeling similarly about how the election turned out, even if you're just friends on social media. Try to find people who have similar views as you do to discuss the ins and outs of the results. You can find validation in your emotions and open up about your distress. Try joining a community interest group or online forum. Next is prioritizing self-care. The presidential election is all about focusing on the greater good for the country. However, your mental health often boils down to looking at what's best for you and your emotions. That's why self-care should be incorporated into your everyday routine. Be sure to take time to unwind, quiet your mind, and do something that brings you joy and contentment. Self-care can be anything from taking a walk in the park, listening to your favorite music, or painting a watercolor painting. Also, consider taking a break from the news. It's important to stay up to date on the news, especially when there's so much change happening around the country due to the election. However, scrolling through news outlets in your social media feeds constantly can bring more anxiety and distress. While knowledge is important, becoming hyper-focused on the news can make you feel pessimistic and fearful. Consider taking a break and limit your news consumption. If you're experiencing mental health distress following the election, it's important to learn how to come to terms with the outcome and the impact that it will have on the next 2 years. That's why the right coping strategies can be so effective. You can also seek the help of a therapist to learn which coping strategies work best for you. If the election has led to symptoms of anxiety or depression that are interfering with your quality of life or day-to-day life, and you need more intensive support beyond weekly therapy, our Lightfully programs can help. We offer residential treatment centers, intensive outpatient programs, virtual services, and partial hospitalization programs as well. Change is possible. When you're ready to take the first step, reach out to our admissions team. We'll take the next steps together towards the fullest, brightest version of you.